Well, we finally made it. Baseball is back. The first spring training action kicks off tomorrow. And it's looking like by that time, 4 of the top 10 projected free agents heading into this free agency class have yet to sign. They're still looking for a deal. Major League Baseball has a free agency problem, and it's bad on all the chords. It's not good for the players, it's not good for the teams, and it's not good for us, the fans. So today we're going to talk about it. But below in the comments section, let me know, out of the remaining top free agents, where do you think that they will sign? If they will sign by the time that the regular season does begin. If you guys enjoy, leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel. This has been one of the most unusual off seasons we've seen in quite some time, and it can be characterized by the massive deals that we've seen from 2 Japan superstars. Shohei Ohtani, of course, inking the largest deal in major North American sports history, getting $700 million from the Dodgers, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto getting over $300 million also from the Dodgers. So there's definitely been some big signings. You know, big players have gotten contracts, but when you look at it, you're looking at 4 all-stars in Blake Snell, JD Martinez, Cody Bellinger, and Jordan Montgomery, who, again, to this point, a day away from the beginning of spring training, haven't found a team. And that is a problem. Now, a big thing that people point to is who represents most of these players. It would be Scott Boras of the Boras Corporation. As it sits, he represents just shy of 200 Major League Baseball players, including but not limited to in this class, Blake Snell, Cody Bellinger, JD Martinez, Matt Chapman, and Scott Boras has made a name for himself within Major League Baseball of getting the most value for his players, which you can't really knock. At the end of the day, he's doing his job. But ultimately, is that a good thing for baseball? I don't think so. You take these players who are, of course, established within their respective careers. You look at the reigning Cy Young Award winner, a MVP removed just 5 years back or so, and numerous amount of all-star nods. These guys still greatly benefit from spring training, working with their new coaches to figure out how to adjust their swing a little bit, how to emphasize the pitches in their arsenal to work in the ever-expanding game of baseball. And going hand in hand, if you're the team and you're looking at signing a Blake Snell, a Cody Bellinger, or any of these free agents, you're also losing out on that time. So you're spending more money, but having less opportunity to actually work with these guys and improve and hopefully get the most value out of the money that you're paying them. Of course, a remedy that many people have proposed is to do something similar to what the NBA or the NFL has in order, and that is a free agent signing period, which would restrict free agency down to a set amount of time. Say the month of December. That's the time that you have to sign free agents, and then the process is done. You don't have to go into spring training wondering who exactly is going to be on your team, and it works best for all parties. The problem with that is the MLBPA doesn't really seem to want that. Recently, Robert Manfred, who announced that this is his last term as the Major League Baseball commissioner, he also went on to talk about the frustrations fans have been having with players not having signed yet at this point in the offseason, but he expressed the resistance that MLBPA had towards the idea. And of course, the thought process there for the players is if they stretch out that negotiation window, they're inevitably going to make more money, which I think is mostly true if you're going to look back at a couple recent examples of this. We saw something similar in 2019 where the 2 biggest stars in that free agency class, Manny Machado and Bryce Harper, well, Machado signed this day, February 21st of 2019, and Bryce Harper not until an additional week later. And there was also a couple players who didn't find a deal. 2 big names that got pretty big contracts come the middle of the season. Craig Kimbrell being one of them. He signed a 3-year, $43 million contract with the Cubs. And Dallas Keuchel, who got paid $13 million just to pitch for 4 months that year. So you kind of get the picture of why MLBPA does not want a free agent signing period, but I also find it a little hard to believe that the figures would be that much reduced. We've seen big contracts. I mean, more and more. I can't tell you how many times I saw fans' reactions saying, how did this guy get $15 or $20 million for being a number 3, number 4 piece in a rotation? Money is huge right now, and I don't think that if free agency was restricted to a month and a half, that you would really see a significant reduction in the kinds of contracts that players are getting. Because it's also important to note, we talked about 2019, Bryce Harper, Manny Machado. Well, the Bryce Harpers and Manny Machados have already signed. If you think about the Otanis, the Yamamotos, they had no problem finding a contract. If you look at the guys remaining, specifically we'll talk about a Blake Snell or a Cody Bellinger, I think there's more reason why they haven't quite gotten the proposed market rate that Scott Boras is expecting. If you look in at Blake Snell, he is a 2-time Cy Young Award winner, including just last season. However, there's more to it than that. In 2023, he allowed 5 walks per 9 innings, which led all of Major League Baseball. Fortunately for Blake, he also led Major League Baseball in ERA, but when you look at those two numbers, they don't spell consistency. Blake has great stuff, one of the best breaking ball at the off-speed pitchers within MLB, but that's not to say that there's no concern over signing a big contract to a guy who is only going to give you between 5 and 6 innings any given start. And allowing that many walks creates many variables, and perhaps too many for teams to take that risk and give him that big payday. And then you've got a guy like Cody Bellinger, of course, excellent with the Los Angeles Dodgers to begin his career. 2019, his MVP season, was one of the best campaigns we've seen in quite some time. He was extraordinary. But injuries piled up and his performance significantly declined. He was much better in Chicago this year. With the Cubs, he put up a pretty impressive season. Across the board, his numbers were far improved from his last couple of seasons in LA. And I did a full video breaking down Cody Bellinger in particular. I don't think there's as much concern with Cody as some people might lead to believe. The big thing with Bellinger that people point to, he doesn't hit the ball nearly as hard as he did with the Dodgers. And you can see that reflected very well within his StatCast data. But when it comes to Cody, a big reason for that is just a change of approach. There's no better way to put it. The last couple seasons have been truly awful for Cody Bellinger. And I think he wants to contribute. He wants to add something to his team. And his way of doing that was becoming more of a situational hitter, not always trying to be the hero, but finding gaps within the defense and having much better control of the strike zone. And with his now healthy shoulder, he's able to get bat to ball. His strikeout percentage dropped to the lowest in his career. He's using the whole field. He's not pressing so hard, trying to pull everything up in the air to right field. But all that's to say, this Bellinger, certainly not better than 2019 Bellinger. So you understand the hesitance of front offices for giving Bellinger that multi-year contract that he's ultimately looking for. Because if a player can help it, they do not want to play on a 1-year deal because anything can happen. You get hurt, that's going to significantly impact the kind of money and the length of your next contract. You want to get locked into a long-term deal as quick as possible, but that's proved difficult for guys like Blake Snell and Cody Bellinger. And there's other cases there as well. You look at Jordan Montgomery, who I'm pretty surprised has not found a contract yet because he's been pretty good. I mean, consistently throughout his career and was really shining in the postseason last year. But also JD Martinez, Tommy Pham, Brandon Belt, Michael Lorenzen, CJ Cron, Adam Duvall. These are all very good players, starting caliber on most teams that have yet to find a deal. So This is how it is, at least until the collective bargaining agreement that currently stands expires at the end of the 2026 season. Nothing's going to change until then, and for now, it's just who's going to budge first. Is it going to be the teams, or is it going to be the players? Because inevitably, somebody's going to have to, or else these guys are going to have to take a second look at that Saudi league. Maybe they're going to have to find some business over there, or they could go play in Japan. I suppose that's always an opportunity. But it's obviously frustrating, as I mentioned, for players. They want to get out there and play, but they also want to earn the money that they deserve. Teams want to get better. They want to be able to sign the guys and have an idea who's going to be on the roster come spring training. And then for fans as well, it's also just irritating to see. I think it's technically the shortest off season between World Series and spring training, but it feels like forever for reasons like this, because free agent signings are so few and far between. Hell, I mean, it's been going on for 3 months at this point, and most of the top names are still out there, so it leaves a lot to be desired for us fans. But let me know in the comment section, what do you make of MLB's free agent problem? And again, let me know who you think is going to end up signing Blake Snell, Cody Bellinger, Jordan Montgomery, and the rest of the stacked cast of unsigned talent. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below, and thank you all for watching.